Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here on WDBJ7 Plus. I hope you're having a great Thursday so far. We've got a lot to talk about here on our WDBJ7 Plus show. It is time for back to school, which is crazy. Summer has just flown by completely. I know Danville went back yesterday, and we've got several hometowns going back this week and especially next week. So, lots to talk about and cover here today. We've also got to talk about your First Alert Hometown Weather Show. That'll be a little later in the show. We'll discuss, what the end of this week is looking like, and maybe you have some weekend plans. We're going to tell you if it's going to be safe to be outside or if you might want to keep those plans inside. And we're also, of course, going to take a look at your top local headlines, and that's where we're going to start now. We're hearing about ICE, and that's been at the center of a national debate recently. Now the federal agency is active right here in our area. We're learning that a man who has spent years working at a local restaurant is now behind bars at a federal detention facility. Our very own Austin Hicks spoke to his boss, who says this is their worst fear.
This is our worst nightmare. This is what we feared.
Tuesday started like any other day at Evie's Bistro and Bakery until kitchen manager Sullivan Alfredo Ramos Perez didn't show up for work. After looking into it, owner Amelia Amon discovered her employee had been detained by ICE.
He got here earliest and he left the latest. He was the hardest worker that you could ever think of, that a restaurant owner could ever want. Gato was that.
Perez is better known as Gato here at Evie's and is originally from Guatemala. He has spent the last 12 years here in the Roanoke Valley, the last 4 of which he has been the kitchen manager here. Now with him gone, owner Amelia Amon says there is a gap that cannot be filled.
He did so much, from creating recipes to executing them that were the best cook that you could find, to just being a leader back of the house here at Evie's Bistro and Bakery.
President Trump's administration has put an emphasis on immigration enforcement. While ICE activity has dominated national headlines, Amon says she never expected those operations to hit so close to home.
Just in case the crisis situation arose that we needed all hands on deck. And that's exactly what we need right now. So we are reaching out to the community, reaching out to our elected officials, and making some noise about it, because this is not okay and this will not be accepted in our community of Roanoke.
In Ramos Perez's 12 years in Roanoke, his only run-in with law enforcement came in 2021 when he was charged with public intoxication. WDBJ7 has reached out to ICE for more details about this detainment and the work in the Roanoke Valley. We have yet to hear back. In Roanoke, Austin Hicks, WDBJ7.
All right, well, Giles County students will be back in class next week, but now the county is talking about ways to invest more into their education. A new Virginia law allows counties and cities to add a 1% sales tax for construction and improvements to public schools. William Zone spoke to Giles County leaders who think that tax could make a difference for their district.
Giles County's Board of Supervisors is hoping to make a small investment in its public schools. On Wednesday, all 5 members voted to send a new 1% sales tax to the ballot in November. County Administrator Chris McClarney says it could bring up to $1.5 million to the school district. And it doesn't all fall on locals.
On the conservative side, 30% of the tax would be paid by people from outside the area. So we believe that number's higher.
There's still a bit more that needs to happen. If the voters approve the tax on the November ballot, the county holds a public hearing on it. The board would then make the final vote on whether to adopt it. But how would the school district plan to spend that money?
Because we probably wouldn't consider it building to building. We'd probably more consider it project to project.
Virginia's school quality profiles ranked 2 of Giles's 6 schools in the needs intensive support category for the 2024-2025 school year. That measures student test scores, growth, and readiness. Dr. Marlon Campbell is the school district superintendent, and he says that extra money could make a big difference.
And I think a big part of that for our students here in Giles County Public Schools is to wake up knowing they're coming to schools that are well maintained, that are clean, that are modern, where they can engage with their teachers and their friends in a comfortable, friendly way.
While the tax is still just a proposal, county leaders say they're confident in the power of the penny. Reporting in Giles County, William Bizone, WDBJ7.
Well, classes in Radford City Public Schools start exactly in 1 week, but when students walk back through those doors, they're going to notice a major shift in how they use technology. The school board is implementing an updated division-wide procedure focusing on how screens are used in classrooms. Kyra Willis spoke with division leaders, educators, and counselors about what this change means for your.
We want kids engaged from bell to bell.
Starting August 12th, the bell will ring in a brand new era of learning in Radford City Public Schools. It's a concerted effort to move away from what Division Superintendent Adam Joyce calls passive screen time.
So starting this fall, we're going to have a real push towards active screen time versus passive screen time.
Active screen time means collaboration, critical thinking, and coding. Passive screen time is using devices to simply pass the time, like playing games on a screen when early worksheets are finished. Instead, the district wants students picking up a physical book. Assistant Superintendent Melissa McDaniel says the pivot is rooted in brain science.
Writing actually triggers more activity in your brain, and so it makes more connections, and you learn and you remember better when you write things out.
For Samantha Worrells, who lives this transition as both a parent of 2 Radford students and a 3rd grade special education teacher, the change is a welcome return to essential human connection.
Technology should be a tool, not the teacher. And I think that's kind of where that's what we're trying to get across.
And that face-to-face connection is vital for student well-being. Jada Connor is a school-based clinician with New River Valley Community Services, working daily with students who struggle with anxiety and depression. She says mindless, passive screen time is driving a wedge between kids.
I think it's especially important right now just because we've seen an increase in depression and anxiety related to that passive scrolling.
This Friday, Radford educators will dedicate their entire convocation to crafting their classroom plans, giving professional educators the authority to decide what works best for their students, bell to bell. In Radford, I'm Kyra Willis, WDBJ7.
And that was Kyra Willis reporting there. And to make this work, teachers are being given the authority to make guidelines that are developmentally appropriate for their classrooms. The division says they will also be doing regular check-ins throughout the school year to monitor how those guidelines are working out. And believe it or not, over in Danville, class is already back in session. And with the departure of state oversight for the school system, they say a new direction begins. The district also says a vital part of that direction includes parents. Connor Arthur explains how parents can get more involved during this academic school year.
A plan pushing parents to be a part of their child's academic success.
We know that all parents love their children. All parents want the best for their children. But our doors are open for our parents to be a part of this learning experience during the school day and sometimes after the school day.
Danville City Public Schools is asking parents to join a parental advisory team, providing the opportunity for input on how to adjust operations to best fit students' needs. Dr. Hairston says parents should feel like they own the schools across the district.
They're part of our schools, but in a leadership way, in an advisory capacity. We also are open to parents coming in and reading to our children during the lunch period. We want our parents to come in to volunteer. We want to see our parents in the booster club, supporting athletics, supporting our esports programs, our clubs and activities. We want to see our parents visibly supporting students in the schoolhouse.
In collaboration with the city, Councilman Barry Mayo says getting parents more engaged is a team effort.
Everyone takes a role and they play it well, and we come together to make all this happen. And look what's happening. We're starting our school year on a #1 note, and this is what we're looking forward to moving forward.
And with the excitement of a new school year, leaders say they hope to see that excitement turn to success in the classroom. Reporting in Danville, Connor Arthur, WDBJ7.
Staying in Danville, Averett University is introducing its next president. The board has appointed Dr. Tasha Granger as the school's 17th president. She's a Roanoke Valley native and longtime higher education leader from William & Mary and the University of Virginia. She'll be Averett's second woman president and also the first black president in the university's 167-year history. She officially steps into her role this semester. So congratulations to her. Looking forward to seeing what she does for the university. Well, the city of Roanoke is hoping to address one of the biggest complaints people have about downtown: the parking. People who live and visit downtown Roanoke have frequently complained about the limited number of free parking spaces and the cost to park in many lots. Our very own Colby Johnson explains the changes the city is planning to make.
People talk about the lack of free and available parking every single day. I hear it multiple times a day.
In Roanoke, parking is one of the biggest obstacles for people who want to eat or shop downtown. Experiences like this are a daily occurrence.
It took us about 20 minutes to find, after I moved my car the first time, to find another parking spot. Just given it's a beautiful day, people are out and about. Parking lots are filled up, street parking's filled up.
Now, Park Roanoke is proposing a number of changes to increase free parking downtown. The city wants to get rid of all parking meters for street spots, increase the time limit for free street parking from an hour to 90 minutes, and the big one, making the first hour of parking in any city-run lots or garages free and offering all-day free parking on Sunday. These changes would apply to any lots or spots with this Park Roanoke symbol, not to private lots.
Free parking on Sunday is going to be a big deal for a lot of people. I think over time this is going to be a big boon for not only our downtown businesses, but also residential life downtown and for people who are wanting to visit, whether they're doing business downtown or tourists.
Local business owners downtown say more free parking would be a big help.
I think that would be great. I think anything the city can do to make people feel more comfortable about parking down here and give them more options, I think that's wonderful.
John Shupp is one of the owners of the Roanoke Co-op. He says as long as there is clear signage indicating the parking changes, they would be a big help to his customers in particular.
For folks who are just stopping by to pick up a few things, the turnover of how quickly parking spaces can get clear, the more free and available and open street parking especially there is, the better all of our businesses are going to do.
And those parking changes will still have to be approved by City Council, but council members expressed support for the ideas this week. Park Roanoke says it'll take about 9 to 12 months to fully implement all the changes, so we'll keep you updated with that. All right, well, that was a look at some of your top local headlines for today, but don't go anywhere because coming up after the break, we're going to take a look at your First Alert hometown weather forecast. Meteorologist Caroline Matheny is going to join us to tell us everything we need to know about the end of the week and into the weekend in case you have any weekend plans. And then later, we are going to have an exclusive interview talking about this free family fun event out in one of our hometowns that goes back to benefit a local art museum. So lots to talk about here on the show. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us here on WDBJ7 Plus. We are now joined by our meteorologist, Caroline Matheny. Caroline, happy Thursday.
Thursday,
How
one
are
day away
we?
from Friday. I'm
Yes.
doing great. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. You know, we are making it through the week here. The weather's been super nice, a little muggy, but what is it looking like? I know we've seen some rain, and you said the new drought monitor has been released. So what are we seeing with that?
Yeah, so it looks like we're still seeing on and off shower chances. It has cleared up significantly over the past couple days. We've been seeing a little bit more sunshine, but it's definitely hot and humid, feeling like August for sure. But the rain chances aren't done just yet. We're seeing increasing clouds across the region as we head into the afternoon, so enjoy that sunshine while we still can. Scattered shower and storm chances will be continuing into Saturday. Not a washout of weather, looking at mostly isolated afternoon shower and storm chances. And then the heat, if you think it's hot now, just wait until we get into early next week, because heat starts to surge heading into Sunday and Monday. So looking at our live look across our hometowns right now, it is a beautiful start to the day, seeing a decent amount of sunshine, a mix of sunshine and clouds. We were seeing a little bit of patchy fog on the road earlier this morning. Does look like a lot of that is starting to clear up. Look at Mountain Lake Lodge, just a beautiful scene there. It is hot already, and it's going to continue to get warmer into the afternoon, followed by some shower and storm chances. So looking at those current temperatures, we are already heating up into those upper 70s, a couple of lower 80s on the map, 82 degrees right now in Roanoke. Humidity, though, making it feel even higher than it actually is. As we look at our satellite and radar, we are seeing a couple of spotty showers beginning to develop right along that West Virginia border into some of our hometowns outside of that West Virginia area. We're seeing a little bit of cloud cover. The rest of us, though, are looking mostly clear right now, but as we zoom out and look at the bigger picture, we're going to be seeing that stationary front right now kind of develop into more of a cold front, going to be moving through our hometowns, going to be bringing some shower and storm chances into the afternoon tonight and heading into tomorrow and continuing into your weekend. So that hour-by-hour forecast, definitely want to enjoy the sunshine while we can. We'll see an increase in cloud cover heading into the afternoon, and then shower and storm chances will be returning. Not widespread. I think areas along and north of I-81 have the best chance of seeing some downpours or thunderstorms. Temperature-wise, going to be getting into those upper 80s. Feels like temperatures could easily hit into those 90s. Look at around 2 o'clock, 88 degrees, but feels like 95. Going to be pretty toasty. Definitely feeling like August thanks to that added humidity. Now, taking a look at that future view, right now we're already starting to see a couple of those developing showers right along that West Virginia border into portions of Pocahontas and Greenbrier County. As we head through the afternoon, starts to develop a little bit more widespread, but mainly isolated to areas north of I-81. Could see some downpours, some thunderstorms, and of course that isolated flood risk does remain because our ground is very saturated. We have seen a lot of rain in many of our hometowns already, but it does look like south side is in the clear today. Looks like a lot of areas stay dry and sunny out towards south side, continuing to see those scattered shower chances into the evening hours, and then we're going to be seeing that unsettled weather continue into Friday as well, as another cold front approaches, going to bring more shower and storm chances with that flood risk remaining. Not washout weather. Looks like all-day events of rain are not likely. Mainly afternoon shower and storm chances, and not everyone is expected to see those showers and thunderstorms. So looking ahead to the next couple of days, Friday going to be seeing that afternoon storm chance. Temperatures are hovering in those upper 80s until Saturday. Saturday looks like we're going to be seeing those afternoon shower and storm chances, but a little bit more sunshine in the morning, and then heading into Sunday, we're going to be seeing more dry conditions, but the heat is going to be making a return heading into next week. We're going to be seeing a ridge in the jet develop and a high pressure system out to our south, and that's going to be keeping us mostly dry, but still a little bit on the humid side, so it's really going to start feeling like August and late summer by next week. We're looking at temperatures in those low 90s and high levels of humidity, but we are going to be a little bit drier, which is great news if you're sick of the rain, but if you've been very grateful for the rain, it has had had positive impacts on our drought monitor. So today is Thursday, which means we have a new drought monitor map. Let's go ahead and compare it to what we saw last week. We have seen more improvement. We've been on a steady trend of improving drought conditions. You can see that abnormally dry and moderate drought category continues to push further into portions of the New River Valley, also into portions of Southside communities, including Henry County. City of Martinsville has broken out of that severe drought category. Still haven't seen too much relief, though, for our southeastern portion of the viewing area. Still seeing that severe and even extreme drought in certain areas because the rain we've been seeing is pretty localized. It hasn't been very widespread. So some areas have definitely seen beneficial rain as seen on our drought monitor map, but some areas are still in desperate need of some more rainfall. And those rain chances are continuing over the next few days. So hopefully we can see some of those localized showers make their way into portions of our Southside communities. All right, heading into your Super 7-day forecast. If you remember earlier this week, we showed you this. We had rain every day, but now we're bleeding into next week, and we're seeing more dry weather on the way. So there is sunshine at the end of the tunnel. Temperature-wise, going to be heating up significantly into those lower 90s by Sunday, all the way through midweek. Humidity levels are expected to remain higher, but we are going to be more dry. So more sunshine expected by the end of the weekend and heading into early next week. The heat is definitely not going to be escapable. Looks like we're going to be feeling those August temperatures, and then some isolated shower and storm chances begin to pop in as we head into next week. So it has been a little bit of a wet week so far. Some areas have been drier than others. I'm very happy, though, that we've been starting to see more of that sunshine peek through over the past few days.
Yes, me too. It's been so nice, and I can see some cool days in our future, hopefully.
Thank goodness.
It's been kind of hard to do that with, the rain and storm chances.
Yeah, you can be out there for like an hour or two, and then you see a cloud, and you're like, that doesn't look good.
Yes, that happened last weekend to me. It was just so off and on rain, but we stayed out there.
Yeah.
Because summer is wrapping up.
It really is. Those pools are only going to be open for a little bit longer. Back to school season.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It is.
Today, I think, is Appomattox and Franklin County schools start. That's insane.
Yeah.
This summer has flown by.
Right. I know lots of schools going back this week, especially next week. So yeah, it's crazy how fast it's flown by. And we were just talking about pumpkin spice lattes too.
Gosh,
Where do
I
you
know.
stand in this?
I know. It's crazy that we're already starting to talk when does pumpkin spice latte season start. If you missed it, if you go on our WDBJ7 website on our hometown weather page, we do have that clip linked there. But I personally think when the temperatures, the average high temperatures reach into those lower 70s, I think that's when I start to feel more fall. So I'd say about early mid-September. Some of our meteorologists, though, were saying October. I think that's pushing it.
Yeah.
But then I also think late August is a little too early.
It is.
It's still 90 degrees outside.
Right,
So,
exactly.
to each their own. Do you
Yes.
like pumpkin spice?
I do, yes, and I fall right in that same category as you of September. For sure.
Yeah, I think September.
Right now.
A lot of people forget that September is still considered like a summer month.
It is.
And so it's still really hot. But in my head, I'm like, well, September means the leaves are changing and, pumpkin spice lattes on the menu now and,
Exactly, yes. Well, hey, y'all make sure to tune in, though, to the First Alert Hometown Weather Show that Caroline was just talking about. They do a lot of fun stuff like that, like debates on pumpkin spice lattes and weather-related stuff, too. And that's at 1:30 every weekday. So, Caroline, thank you so much for joining us. And for those watching, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with an exclusive interview about a free family fun event in one of our hometowns coming up after this. Welcome back to WDBJ7 Plus. Thank you so much for staying with us. We are now joined by Jennifer Gravely. She is with Piedmont Arts. Jennifer, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you for having me on the show, Michaela.
Yes, of course. So we are going to be talking about Piedmont Arts event coming up on Saturday to celebrate America's birthday. But before we get into that, for those who maybe don't know, aren't familiar, give us a little bit of info on Piedmont Arts and, what y'all do there in Martinsville.
Yeah, so Piedmont Arts, we are a nonprofit arts museum and organization that focuses on 3 pillars: the visual arts, performing arts, and arts education. So we have a gallery that is always open to the public and it's free to visit with exhibits rotating throughout the year. We also put on a lot of arts programming, performances and events for the community. And we also bring a lot of arts programming into the schools for preschool all the way up through 12th grade.
Awesome. Yeah, it's so beautiful there. I've been out there a few times when I was working out in Southside reporting, and it's just so pretty and always something going on, just displaying, local talent, local art, and educating the public. So, yeah, I know that on Saturday, y'all are hosting a very special celebration for America's 250th birthday that's happening from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. So tell people a little bit about what they can expect from that event coming up.
Yes, so this is a free event for the entire community and surrounding areas. It is located in our art garden, which is at the corner of Starling and Mulberry Road. And like I said, it's a free event from 10 to 12. We'll have a bounce house, we'll have snacks, arts and crafts, cupcakes, live music by Pirates of the Piedmont, and giveaways throughout the event. So we invite everyone to come. It is a Happy Birthday America theme, sort of leaning into America's 250th birthday. So we'll have lots of red, white, and blue, cupcakes, like I said, and it'll be a fun time for the whole family. And we also invite you all to come down the street to the Arts Museum to see the exhibits that are on display. That's, again, open to the public, free admission, and that, too, is celebrating America's 250th anniversary. So there's a lot to do for the whole family, and, again, all for free. So.
Right. Wow. Yeah, that sounds so fun. Lots going on. Sounds like something for all ages that everyone can enjoy. And so where did that idea come about? What was that discussion like on doing an event like this?
Well, we actually host 3 free family days every year throughout the year. So we always have sort of an end of summer family day. We always have one in December, also in the art garden when we light our Christmas tree and we have a jazz band and a visit from Santa Claus. And then we always have one in February, tied in with the African American Read-In. So we like to give back to the community, make the arts accessible to everyone. And so these are just some of the ways to get children engaged, get them into our museum, and get them involved with Piedmont Arts for free.
Oh, wow. Yes, awesome. So y'all do this 3 times a year with specific themes. That's wonderful. And you kind of touched on this, but just talk about the importance of having events like these, for the community and to bring this accessibility to everyone.
Well, the arts are so important to everyone, from elementary school age to, retired folks and families. It's so important to the community as a whole to have something that the community can get engaged with and enjoy. And the arts can sometimes be hard for people to access. We know that in the schools, they've been sort of paring back on arts education. So we really want to keep the arts at the forefront in the community and in the schools.
Right. Yeah, that is so true. It's great to see y'all doing something like this and to also get the word out about Piedmont Arts too, to have people come and experience that and maybe think, oh, this would be great to come back to, another day, bring the kids or, go after work or something like that. So
Exactly. And our galleries are free to visit. We also have a really fun room called the Discovery Room, which is great for kids. We have paint supplies, arts and crafts, musical instruments. So another way to just get people in the doors and enjoying the arts for free.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. And so I am going to pull up this flyer that y'all sent again. This is happening on Saturday, the Happy Birthday America Family Day, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the Gravely Lester Art Garden out in Martinsville. So if you're looking for something to do, this will be great for your Saturday. You know, I know kids are heading back to school soon. Maybe something good to wrap up the summer there. And so, you know, was there anything else, Jennifer, that you wanted to add or that you hope to see on Saturday when, you know, the event is happening?
Yeah, we just hope to see lots of smiling faces and people enjoying hopefully the beautiful weather in our art garden, where we also have art sculptures to enjoy. And I just ask everyone to follow us on social media if you're not already, and check out our events calendar at piedmontarts.org, because we have a lot going on this upcoming season, a lot of things that are for free too. So we hope you guys can come out and enjoy it.
All right, perfect. Yes, it sounds super fun. Y'all go and check it out on Saturday. Jennifer, thank you so much for coming on to talk to us more about this event. And for those watching, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more WDBJ 7 Plus after this. Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us here on WDBJ 7 Plus. The countdown is on until next July when Virginia rolls out a retail cannabis market, but the plan is seeing some pushback from hemp businesses. Part of the rollout includes more detailed regulations enforced by the Cannabis Control Authority. As part of the marketplace framework, in less than 2 weeks, all cannabis products must have less than 2 milligrams of THC, regardless of other ingredients and ratios. Now, shop owners and customers say the crackdown will destroy their livelihoods and cut off customers from relief. Our very own Madeline Amati tells us what owners are hoping for.
My wife goes to herbalism school, so Cody Moorfield left his engineering career to open Simply Hemp in Collinsville, Virginia. His wife had been using CBD for fibromyalgia pain, but what started as a family business is now facing potential collapse.
Everything in the case up here, probably 90% of it, 95% of it will be gone. And
troubles stem from a recent change within the State Budget Act. Starting August 15th, any hemp product with over 2 milligrams of THC will be illegal. That strips away a previous rule that allowed for more in certain products.
we serve PTSD people. We serve people that have anxiety. We've had people that come in and use CBD and to lower THC products to get off opioid addiction, to get off alcoholism.
Feared losses forced Moorfield to stop ordering new shipments, leaving his shelves sparse. He says this 6-week window to overhaul operations is just unrealistic.
I mean, we literally had people coming in almost in tears saying, hey, I don't know what I'm going to do without this product. We've had people come in and say, I want you guys to stay open. We had one couple volunteer to come and work part-time free of charge to make sure we could stay open after this, because when you lose that much of your sales, you're in jeopardy of losing your business.
Chap Peterson is the lawyer representing Moorfield and the other plaintiffs. He says this isn't about the legislature regulating the hemp industry, but something completely different.
This is what's called a regulatory taking, that when a state closes down a legal industry, they either have to pay compensation for the product that's not going to be used, that's essentially lost, or they actually have to have a plan to wind down the industry.
Peterson wants his clients paid, and Moorfield wants to maintain his purpose.
Yeah, been a lot of sleepless nights, especially
helping the community who he says rely on his products. Reporting in Collinsville, Madeline Amati, WDBJ7.
Well, small business owners whipping up delicious treats in their houses now have more opportunities to grow their business. A new law now gives these home-based bakers the opportunity to sell their products online and ship statewide. Before July, those types of sales were illegal and instead had to be done in person. So our very own Caitlin Kirkpatrick spoke with a home baker who says this change in legislation is giving her freedom to grow.
For one local entrepreneur, rigid Virginia food laws prevented her home-based marshmallow business from reaching its full potential. Sabrina Ruth Cooper is the owner of Bite Me Confections.
I have always made marshmallows, gave them for Christmas presents and things. And then back when I was teaching, our school district froze our salary. So I thought, well, I think I could probably sell these to make some extra money. And so I started selling at Dickens Over Christmas years ago.
Under Virginia's old law, she could only sell her marshmallows in person.
Friends, of course, and then I do vendor markets around the valley. In Franklin County also, I will go if there's a pop-up. I'm at Black Dog a lot on their Dog Bowl Sundays and just different festivals and things around.
Virginia recently changed those codes. Now certified home kitchens can sell their treats anywhere in Virginia, including online and over the phone.
Yeah, that's a wonderful change for the small bakers to allow us to expand our businesses and to be able to ship wherever is great.
Sabrina says it can help her reach new customers in a more convenient way.
So if I have a show out of town, people can always, order through the website and I can mail it to them now instead of having just to be in person.
Small business owners like Sabrina still have to follow state ingredient and allergen labeling laws, but for now, she's excited for more people to try her tasty treats. In Roanoke, Caitlin Kirkpatrick, WDBJ7.
I love it. That sounds great for them. And Caitlin actually brought me back one of those marshmallows, the key lime pie one, and it is delicious. So highly recommend going and trying some of those s'mores and marshmallows. Well, a free clothing closet at Eagle Rock United Methodist Church is continuing its mission of serving its community, reaching 20 years of giving. It's open 4 months out of the year. WDBJ7's Logan Beebe shows us just how far its reach has grown and how this once little closet has matched the intense need its community is facing.
Ray Sandifer loves his church. Giving back to his community feels like second nature.
The greatest blessing that anyone can have is to be a blessing.
Which is why 20 years ago, he and a small team of volunteers set out to give the people all around Eagle Rock the biggest blessing they could. Clothes on their back, free of charge.
We don't ask, are you truly needy? We assume if you've come here, you have a need.
I think the need is greater now than it ever has been.
Pastor Sandifer has seen that need grow over the last few years firsthand.
I have seen people just so needy, hurting so bad.
And what started as a small clothing closet is now something of a clothing superstore. Each room in the church overflowing with clothes, all sorted, organized, and inspected by volunteers. One of those volunteers is a frequent shopper at the closet. She says that for years, this place has given her so much. Now she's giving it back.
When you come in here, there is the sense of unity, and there is the sense that God is at work here.
And when the church started to fill to the brim with donations, they bought a whole separate shed to store more.
The churches are just very small in size, in numbers, but they are great in spirit.
And each item will find a home. The last time they opened their doors, 94 people came in. Pastor Sandifer getting his message across.
If you have extra, share. If you have need, ask.
And when someone does ask for a hand, Eagle Rock United Methodist is there to lend it. Free of shame, free of charge. Reporting in Eagle Rock, I'm Logan Beebe, WDBJ7.
Yeah, some great work that they're doing out there. Well, we've all heard that staying active is the key to living a longer life, but for one woman, her goal to get stronger is teaching us all a thing or two about living well as we age. Our very own Natalie Fonts has her inspirational story.
Ginny McCall couldn't do a single pull-up at the age of 61, but she had a goal and a dream to get stronger and better with age. And not only did she accomplish that goal, she went on to earn a Guinness World Record at the age of 71, making her the oldest female ninja competitor in the world.
My mom had never done a pull-up in her entire life.
Ginny McCall never set out to be a Guinness World Record holder. She simply wanted to be able to do 5 pull-ups.
So her daughter is actually a very famous American Ninja Warrior show participant. And she was watching Jessie do this. She's like, oh, she's so strong. Like, I want to be strong like that.
So she set a goal to do those 5 pull-ups. However, she couldn't even do 1.
So she literally set a goal for herself, a very small goal. Her goal was to do 5 pull-ups. And she hired a trainer, and it took her a year to do 1. But she did it.
But she didn't stop there. In fact, McCall kept training and ended up on American Ninja Warrior 3 times in her 60s and 70s. McCall, who was diagnosed with osteopenia in her 40s, actually reversed it through her strength training, avoiding the progression to osteoporosis. And muscle is one of the greatest predictors of independence as we age.
And it's so important as we age. That muscle mass is really important because that's, especially after menopause, you start to lose your muscle mass. So you need to be lifting weights. That's more important than any aerobic activity you can do.
Dave says McCall's message is simple. Our biggest obstacle isn't physical. It's the constant habit of saying, I can't. And by setting small, attainable goals, you can accomplish extraordinary things.
Look at Ginny. It took her a year to do 1 pull-up. And now when you see her, I mean, she's swinging on bars and doing pull-ups, and she's incredible. Anything is possible. You just start small. You know, don't set your goals too big so you think, oh, I'll never get there. Just baby steps.
McCall continues to swim competitively, train, pursue additional world records, and sets new goals well into her 70s. Her message to viewers, you're never too old to get stronger, start something new, or surprise yourself. In the studio, I'm Natalie Fonts.
That is exactly right. Oh my goodness. That is so inspirational. I'm ready to go get in the gym right now. That is awesome. I love it. All right. Well, that was a look at some of our local stories, but hey, don't go anywhere. We have more. We're going to take a look at some health news for you coming up after this quick break. Thanks for staying with us here on WDBJ7 Plus. I'm Michaela Shelton. We're going to take a look at some health news for you now. Doctors are predicting nearly 125,000 people are expected to die this year alone from lung cancer, making it the deadliest cancer. In this Hometown Health, Amir Massenberg explains why there's growing concern about lung cancer awareness and how experts say it could hold back strides being made in the battle against the disease.
In the U.S., over the past 5 years, the lung cancer survival rate has increased by 26%. But the disease remains the leading cause of cancer deaths among both women and men.
We still have a ways to go to draw the right awareness around this very deadly and morbid disease.
A new national survey by the American Lung Association reveals a critical gap. Only about 1/3 of those surveyed were aware that quick, low-dose CT scans are available for people at highest risk of the disease. A growing concern as catching lung cancer early significantly raises odds of survival.
It's a little challenging to see that it's so underused and so underutilized.
Those considered high risk and screening eligible include smokers between the ages of 50 and 80 with a 20-pack year history of smoking, which could be 1 pack a day for 20 years or 2 packs a day for 10 years, or former heavy smokers who quit within the past 15 years.
We have a good deal of patients who are very not forthcoming to their doctors to say that they actively still smoke because they don't want to be judged or shamed.
Experts say smoking stigma is a part of the problem, but also lung cancer screening is relatively new. It's only been recommended since 2013. The scan does not require an IV or contrast and takes less than a minute to complete.
It probably takes longer to fill out the forms for the lung cancer screening than it does to actually get the test done.
While lung cancer screening is currently only recommended for current or former smokers, experts say more people who have never smoked are being diagnosed with lung cancer. So talking to a doctor about your risk factors is important, and that includes having a family history of lung cancer, past radiation therapy for other cancers, certain occupations where toxins may have been inhaled on the job, as well as air pollution, secondhand smoke, and radon gas that can build up inside homes. For your Hometown Health, I'm Amir Massenberg.
And that was a look at some of your health headlines for today. And thank y'all so much for staying here with us on WDBJ7 Plus. I do want to apologize if you're hearing an echo today on your audio. I don't know what that's about, but that is not normal, and we're going to get it fixed today. It is driving me crazy. So my apologies for that, but we will get it figured out and get it fixed for tomorrow. But yeah, that's about all the time we have for our WDBJ7 Plus show today. But if you're new here, we do this every Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. And so we'll have a lot more for you tomorrow, better audio as well for you. And yeah, thank y'all so much for tuning in, but make sure to stay tuned for the noon newscast that's coming up here in just a few minutes. I know that sound is completely different from this one. It's going to sound great. They're going to have your national news, your local headlines and weather, all that good stuff. And yeah, we really appreciate y'all being here with us today. Make sure to join us here tomorrow at 11 a.m. And I hope y'all have a great rest of your Thursday. Thank you so much for watching.